Hey guys, it's XDC here and welcome back to the second part of my tutorial for bud switches. This should be episode 8 and I'm just following off where I left off last episode about the bud switches. Now if you recall, I did mention that this setup over here, which was hidden behind a wall, is just basically this behind a wall. And that's actually not true, because if you have a look here, the piston extends below this block, and this is the block that is powered. Over here, the piston head extends out this way, and it's not affected by the block that's powered. So there is a bit of a difference here. So what happens is when I update this piston, it will reset itself back to this state where it's retracted. Over here, when I update this block behind it, so this one here, and I can do that by destroying a piece of redstone, it will extend, which will turn this power off, and it won't retract because it hasn't been updated by this block. And if I update that block again, it will retract, turning this back on and updating this block, so that next time when it gets updated, it will realize it's powered, it will extend, and in turn switch this off, and then it just keeps going. So there's a slight difference between these two, but basically to make this one work, it's probably better to have a hole in the wall, because if you have it sticking all the way out, then the chances are you're going to have to expose some of this wiring or make it more complicated. So there's a few advantages and disadvantages, but they both work. This is just that mechanism here by itself exposed. So this is the block that's diagonally opposite and it's powered. Don't actually need this here, but it's just for looks. In here is the update area. That's going to update the block, but what I've done is I've actually put a block here and put a whole extra layer around it so that I can cover up the torches and the redstone. And now the only way to update that block is either to break it or by using redstone, which is much easier. So that's just a quick, for your information, I guess, because after watching what I'd recorded, I realized that this design over here and that one are slightly different, so just clearing that mistake up. So if you wanted to build one of these, it's relatively simple. I'll just copy that design there. You need a sticky piston and some block. I usually start it one block away. You need that, and a piece of redstone that goes down and around, and one block in front of the piston. You're going to need a torch. On top of that, you're going to need another torch, and over here you need a piece of redstone, which will be powered by this torch, and it's going to power this block, which is diagonally opposite. So there, as you can see, it's very simple. This is a basic bud switch, and it should work as soon as I switch it on. So to start it, you just need to do that. There we go. That will get it going, and from then on, whenever you update the block behind the piston, it will change states. And just as we used this method of getting the power from the block, we can use it on this side. Oops. To use this as an output. Okay. So this can be output to a door or a T-Flipflop or whatever, sorry. But this kind of serves as a T-Flipflop, I guess, as well. So this can be output. This is the resetting line. So that's how you build this. And oh, mobs, I better fix up my time. Okay, so this design over here is the first one I showed you in the previous video, and this one self resets. can see. So you'd probably want to hook this up to a T-Flipflop to save the state of this. And just in case if you're wondering how to build it, it's very simple. Sorry, you need a sticky piston there, and underneath it, one block in front of it, you need a torch. It's the block that's going to move, and you're going to need a repeater to drag the current out of this block. This repeater will power this block, which holds this torch, and a block on top of that torch, which will power this block over here by placing redstone on there, and there you go, nice and simple. And I believe you can change this. I wonder what it will do. Okay, so it will be just a little slower, so this doesn't do much. And you need this here to... oh, actually you don't need this. Yeah, actually you don't need it, I guess. But both ways will work. With the repeater you can set a delay to it, but I don't really see much use for that, so both ways will work. Now I'm sure many of you were wondering what was this big glass cube doing here, and I'll go in and show you guys. So this here is exactly what it looks like. It's an island which I created. It took a lot of time, and yeah, it's basically a small island setup. So this is just, oh, looks like must be raining, yeah. Anyway, we're nice and safe in here, which is why I covered this up in glass. And nothing strange about this island at all. It looks pretty ordinary, as you'd expect. But when I placed a piece of redstone in that corner, I heard a bunch of pistons going off. And gotta say, this is pretty well hidden. When I update that block over there, a secret entrance in the water opens, and I can go down to where I store all my goodies. As you can see, sets of iron, redstone, diamonds, a bunch of miscellaneous junk, TNT, more stuff, cobblestone of course. So yeah, so that's just a little, well, I guess not little, but this is a way in which you can use butt switches to hide the entrance to your secret base. So that's very cool. And if I finish messing around in my room, I come up, remove the redstone, and nothing was ever there. It's like nothing ever happened. It closes, and you'd probably want to pick a spot where people aren't likely to go digging around. So yeah, that's how you can use it. It opens that, remove, and it's gone. So I'll just quickly show you the insides of this. Oh, hope I didn't break anything important. I think I did. Oh, man, this lag. Did I fall inside a block? Anyway. Okay, hope this still works. Let's update that. Okay, it doesn't work anymore. What did I do? Is there a block here? Yes, I know what happened. I destroyed a block with a redstone torch on it. That's what I picked up. There we go. Now it should work. There we go. You can get a bunch of pistons going off. Entrance closed. Wait, what? Yeah. And now entrance is open. That's the wrong way around. Wait. Yeah, this is weird. Yeah, that should fix it. Oh no, the grass grew. Anyway, I'll just show you how the concept works. So this is a bot switch, which is powered diagonally by this block, by this torch. And when I update it, does its thing. It's one of those self-resetting ones, so it pushes out and quickly pulls back in, which is long enough to send a pulse into my pulse limiter, or redstone pulsar, those things. And here is just a T-flip-flop. Underneath is a torch there, which powers this line, and this line goes to this piston, which covers up my entrance to the underwater base. So if there we go. Oh, whoops. There's my piston. And I put that dirt there because I don't want water spilling in. But when I remove the redstone, piston retracts, opening a hole underneath there, which goes to my underwater base. And once I get under this water, it's good. And I could hook up a switch to close it from the inside, but I'll save that for another day. Whoa! Ooh, nearly let a flood into my redstone place. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for this bit. The water flows. See if that fixes the problem. Yeah, okay, good. So it should be closed when there's no redstone there. And it'll open when there is. Okay, so that's how it's meant to work. Okay, so I've quickly set up a demonstration here. As you'll see, if I chuck something in there to smelt, let's go with this. Oh, whoops, I didn't set it up. Yeah, I was explaining, well, I was going to explain if that's a piece of redstone, it does that. So that was the reason why we needed a repeater here. Because the whoops, wait, no, that's the right way. Because the redstone would power this block and push out the piston when we don't want it to. So that's how we want it. And, oh, great. Let's grab some more wood. So, if I wanted to smelt something, whenever it turn on, it would trigger the butt switch, which then hopefully by now, oops. Okay, that's not meant to happen. Yeah, okay, that's why you see you can't use redstone, you need to use repeaters. That's the wrong way. Yeah, so as I was saying, by now you should know how to hook up a T-flip-flop to this, which you could hook up to maybe an alarm with note blocks or something like that, or something useful, or a visual indicator on when your furnace is done. So yeah, that's why you can't use pieces of redstone, because the redstone would power this block, which would power the piston, and that would defeat the whole purpose of this butt switch. So yeah, that's how it works. I'll quickly build one here, because I only have a few minutes left in this video. So you want to build, I guess, a nice wall to cover it up. And with this piston, the block that you're going to power is this one. Underneath here, you have a torch, block, a repeater to pull out the signal into one of these, and then again, upwards one. Torch there. Final piece of redstone will power this block, which is, as I said, diagonally opposite to this piston. And oops, your furnace alarm is ready to go. Just hook up a T-flip-flop, a couple of note blocks, and you're good. So I hope you guys found this tutorial easy to follow along and helpful. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and yeah, if you like the videos in general, please do subscribe. We appreciate your support and of course your comments and input. It helps us and motivates us. So yeah, thanks for watching. It will extend, which will turn this power off, and it won't retract because it hasn't been updated by this block. And if I update that block again, it will retract, turning this back on and updating this block, so that next time when it gets updated it will realize it's powered, it will extend, and in turn switch this off, and then it just keeps going. So there's a slight difference between these two. I mentioned that this setup over here, which was hidden behind a wall, is just basically this behind a wall, and that's actually not true. Because if you have a look here, the piston extends below this block, and this is the block that is powered. Over here, the piston head extends out this way, and it's not affected by the block that's powered. So, but basically, to make this one work, it's probably better to have a hole in the wall, because if you have it sticking all the way out, then the chances are you're going to have to expose some of this wiring, or make it more complicated. So there's a few advantages and disadvantages, but they both work. This is just that mechanism here by itself, exposed. So this is the block that's diagonally opposite, and it's powered. Don't actually need this here. Hey guys, it's XDC here, and welcome back to the second part of my tutorial for bud switches. This should be episode 8, and I'm just following off where I left off last episode about the bud switches. Now, if you recall, there is a bit of a difference here. So what happens is when I update this piston, it will reset itself back to this state, where it's retracted. Over here, when I update this block behind it, so this one here, and I can do that by destroying a piece of redstone,